Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Culture Shock, the show reminding you that AOC took these photos. And wanted us to believe that she was at the border. I am back with a new video, you guys. My last video I tried to do about Biden's executive orders. My microphone crapped out, so I couldn't really go ahead and do that for you guys. So I really do apologize. I shot the video, but the audio was crap, and I couldn't really kind of clean it up. I know the whole Joe Biden's executive orders is kind of like overdone, but at some point I will get back and reshoot that video for you guys because a lot of people don't know what's actually going on with those executive orders, and I want to give you guys a little bit more insight on what you can be in store for the next 4 years. But today's video is actually a little bit off that segue because, our little Congresswoman AOC just has to be in the media about something that happened a month ago. Now, hear me out, right? The Capitol riots were a bad thing. They shouldn't have happened, okay? I'm not condoning, I'm not giving the people who did the riots credit, okay? Here's the thing, that people, for some reason, are comparing this to Benghazi. People are telling AOC to let this go because it's happened and done, and those same people are saying that people need to let Benghazi go because it's said and done. There's two things wrong with that. One, the people who stormed the Capitol building have been apprehended or are in the process of being apprehended, arrested, tried, and sent to jail. Another one, on Benghazi, we know who was responsible for it: government officials. Soldiers died. People who lost soldiers in that attack have to look at Hillary and Susan Rice's face for the rest of their lives, knowing that these two people were primarily responsible for this attack and they're not in jail. So, you're comparing apricots to grapes here. Like, these aren't two of the same things. But, people want to compare something that happened years ago to something that happened today and be like, oh, they're the same thing. No, they're not the same thing. They're actually completely different instances and incidents that can't be weighed the same. All right. But we're going to get into AOC's little traumatic recap of her experiences at the Capitol and what really happened versus what she said actually happened. But first, let's go through the formalities. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I am Will at Heroic Studios. Please like and subscribe and share this video out. I'm always welcome to new subscribers. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this whole AOC debacle that we're going to get into in a bit. If you don't watch the video version of this, if you're on your way to work, or you're cleaning the house or whatever, there is a podcast that you guys can check out on any platform you listen to podcasts: Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever. I'm there. Go catch me. Last but not least, actually two more things. Number one, there will be a virtual Comic-Con in Ottawa that's happening in March. More details to come on that pretty soon. But your boy is going to be jumping in there, and I bet you're asking, wait, I thought he does political commentary. Wrongo, you are. I'm actually very versed in comic book illustration and art, as I have my first, I wouldn't say my first, but my latest project, Ultima the Legend Untold, which is now live on Webtoons. We're at chapter 4 with updates coming every single Sunday. So go to Webtoons, link in the description, subscribe to the web series page, read to your heart's content. I've been working on this for a very long time, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let's get to AOC's big recap of what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. All right, so if you haven't heard, if you're living under a rock, there was a riot at the Capitol January 6th. People kind of stormed the Capitol looking to stop the electoral count from happening. So I really don't know what the plan was there, but those people who were there, who were caught, and even people who actually got away, have been apprehended and they are being jailed. They're being taken to jail. So over the weekend, AOC went to Instagram for 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Going over her experiences that took place at the Capitol. I'm sorry, folks. I can't really I can't show the video. I really can't, because it's just a lot of nonsense. So if you're on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you can find clips of the video, go listen to what she's saying. But over the last few days, a lot of what she's saying hasn't been adding up. And I can't stress this enough. Ever since Joe Biden has taken office, my emotions towards everything has been like this. Because it's fucking hilarious that everything has to be about these Democrats. There's nothing about the people. No, it's just they're turning it into an us versus them game, where most of us don't really want to play. All we want is limited government, low taxes, and individual freedom. That's literally all we want. If that's what you can provide, let us have it. But no, AOC wants to go ahead and just, throw her fucking pebble in the pond because she needs the attention. And she recounted everything that went down in the Capitol. Now, there's a few things wrong with her story that I'm going to get into. But number one, she's comparing this whole situation to sexual assault. Listen, if you've been sexually assaulted, I'm sorry that happened to you. Call the police, okay? Let them investigate. Now, you coming on live stream Twitter or Instagram or wherever you did it saying that this felt like the time I was sexually assaulted, it's like, okay, I didn't really need to know that. That's not something that I would really not in like, ew, gross, that's nasty, but like in a sense of like, okay, why did everyone need to know that? Because there's very foggy evidence when it comes to the whole Me Too movement. Like you got people who were trying to condemn Kavanaugh about it when he was trying to be appointed to the Supreme Court, and then you have Joe Biden's accusers who were completely ignored. So it's like, where are you going with this whole Me Too thing? I really don't understand where we're going here. But anybody who is saying that they are sexually assaulted, I feel sorry for you. I hope you get some help, and I hope you report the people who were responsible and have a thorough investigation. But whenever AOC does anything like this, to me, it's just her crying for attention. Was she sexually assaulted? Probably. Do I really care that she was? Not really, and I don't mean that in an ill sense. I mean that, like, I got other shit to worry about rather than whether AOC is okay or not, all right? Now, going back to the whole Capitol riots thing, there's a lot to unpack there. She said that she was in a Capitol building. She was fearful for her life. Now, a map of where the Capitol building is versus where her office is doesn't add up. Because she said that she was in a Capitol building in her office, but her office isn't in the Capitol building. It's actually in the Cannon building, which by Google Maps, if you're looking at this map that I have on the screen right now, is about a little less than half a mile away from the Capitol building. Yes, they do have tunnels that connect all of those buildings together so politicians can easily access it without going out on the street, yada, yada, yada. But she's saying that she was there during storming of the Capitol, but she wasn't, because there were eyewitnesses that said that she was actually in her office in the Cannon building, which is nowhere near where the Capitol building was being stormed. So, lie number one, yeah, I get it. Like, okay, so let's say people were storming the Capitol, right? And you're fearful for your life. And, the Capitol building is less than a half a mile away. That's pretty, that's a decent ways. But I get it. Your reaction is going to be like, oh my God, they might be coming here next, right? And so the logical thing to do would be to hide or to get some help. But I mean, Capitol Police was there, and she refused help from the Capitol Police, claiming that he was a man and he was white. I'm not lying. You can look it up. That's exactly what she said in her 90-minute Instagram video. Like, I watched it. I sat through it, and I watched it for you guys in order to make this video. I should make you all sit through it too, but I'm not going to torment you with that kind of just complete and utter horror. To me, it's a bunch of nonsense. So she's lying that she was in a Capitol building, okay? Now, two things can be true at once. Number one is that she could be fearful for her life, because if someone broke into the house down the street, I'm going to be fearful for my life and my family's life because that shit's right there. So I can understand her overreacting and reacting the way she did when she learned that the Capitol riots were happening, in the Capitol building. Another thing that can be true is that actually can't be true, because she said that she was in the Capitol building when she wasn't in the Capitol building. So that's a lie. She's just, in my opinion, when I hear things like this, when I hear how many times this woman has lied, I just have to take it with a grain of salt and just wait for the facts to come out, which is what I did. I always do that. And AOC Lied has been trending for like 2 days straight now. Now, when I first heard that she was in the Capitol building when this happened, I was like, oh shit, this is real. Like, I was like, oh, she must be hiding under a desk or something, trying to make sure she doesn't get caught. And then the article broke that she wasn't even in the Capitol building. I really don't understand why it's so hard for our media to sort of fact check anything anyone says. Because Like, you can fact check everything and still fuck it up. How do you fact check that and still fuck it up? Like, anything our politicians say, if you're believing 100% anything a politician says, I mean, good luck. Whatever happens, happens to you, buddy, because I don't believe these people even for a second. But that's not even the worst of it, right? So when people started finding out that she was actually lying about being in the Capitol building, she sent out an email to her supporters, people who are on her email list or whatever, saying that if you see anything with this certain hashtag, make sure you report it and get it removed. So she's actively censoring people, or trying to at least, because what people have come to the conclusion of with her regarding the riots doesn't sit well with her. Okay, this is coming from the woman who said she's more concerned with being morally right than factually accurate. She cares more about being morally right than caring about the facts, which is an ass backward statement of itself. And there's a little irony here when she's trying to censor people because she's not liking what people are coming to the conclusion of her regarding the riots. Look, you can go on Google right now. You can Google Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is just not the Capitol building. Capitol Hill consists of a cluster of buildings that are around the Capitol building. You can see, again, in the picture that I'm posting right here on the screen, the Capitol building is there with the red arrow. AOC's office is there with the other red arrow. These are two very different, distinct places. But no, AOC claims that she was there. But in a video, she said that she was in her office and actually went to another representative whose office was right next door looking for a place to hide. So there are eyewitnesses that said that AOC was in the Cannon building at the time of the riots. So which is it? Were you there or were you not there? So with the email that she actually threw out, it's actually just bonkers. Listen to this, guys. As we speak, right-wing operatives. I don't know who are these operatives. These just right-wing operatives. Oh, right-wing operatives. I mean, who are they? You got to be a little bit more specific. But maybe I'm a right-wing. Try saying that 10 times. Right-wing operative or whatever. As we speak, right-wing operatives with millions of followers on social media are spreading flat-out lies and misleading information about Alexandria. But with your help, we can force Twitter and Facebook to take action and enforce their own rules. And what rules might that be? You're not being very specific. If you're talking about misinformation or disinformation or whatever the nonsense you're trying to spout, that is very iffy there, because you have to understand that you said one thing in the story that you gave on your Instagram post, but then people can easily go ahead and check it out on Google and see where that map takes place. So it's kind of like, okay, what are you saying here? What rules are you talking about? Because I don't really understand what rules you're actually referring to here. So it's actually just not very clear. You don't really have a standard here. So now going back to her email, which, just a bunch of craziness. What's so frustrating about these attacks is that once the truth comes out, so few people get to hear it. Yeah, well, most of us don't believe it because we don't believe a thing that the mainstream media says or what you say, because you've lied so many times that your credibility just kind of goes out the window after a while. So there's that. Hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of people will have already seen, have already seen or shared the misleading tweets or fake news. How is it fake? You haven't really pointed out how is it fake. You said in the video you were in your office when your office is in the Cannon building during the riots. It's very clear to me that you weren't there at the riots. You might have been in the vicinity, in the area in which those riots are taking place. And again, I understand your anxiety and your fear for your life, 100%. But to say that you were there, that people stormed where your office was, that they broke into the Cannon building and said that they were looking for AOC and she was found hiding in a bathroom, which she was not found hiding in a bathroom, according to the representative that she went into the office of. She was not hiding in the bathroom. That is a lie. That's not true. It is not true. All right. So she's telling people, we need your help. Here's what you can do to help us control this situation of disinformation and others in the future. So she's calling out people to actively If you find anything with a hashtag, which I'm pretty sure is like hashtag AOC Lied or hashtag Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett, which is hilarious, by the way, that you report it to Twitter and Facebook. Now, I've been tweeting this out for days, and it's been honestly the funniest shit I've ever done, and it's great. So this is what she's asking people to do. Scan your social media to find posts with this misleading information, especially those using the trending hashtag. Don't tweet any hashtags yourself because we don't want to spread them further. Identify any posts that are threatening or harassing and use the built-in report feature to flag them for moderators. Facebook and Twitter have both built-in tools for reporting posts and tweeting that breaks the rules. Now, she's actively engaging in draconian authoritarian practices here. She's censoring people who don't necessarily agree with her story. Now, you want people to agree with your story. Now, if what you say is true, if everything you say is true, then you would have no problem with anybody contesting what you're saying is true, right? It's like if I said, give you my story, if I was at the Capitol and someone says, no, you weren't, you were at Dairy Queen. I was there. I know I was there. I don't really give a rat's ass about what you think, okay? That's how I would come across. That's how I would handle that situation. If I was there at the Capitol riots and I told people I was there at the Capitol riots and I believed that I was there because I was there in person and someone said, no, you weren't, you were here, then I really don't care what other people say. I really don't care if you agree with me. I'm giving you my experiences. I'm telling you what happened. If you don't believe me, fine. But she's going through extreme lengths to make it to where this is actually the truth, which even more in my head is kind of sounding off a red flag that she might be lying. This kind of behavior doesn't really solidify the fact that you're telling the truth here. This is you digging yourself into a deeper hole to remove information that you don't like because it contradicts your story. Doesn't make sense. The sad thing is that a lot of damage has already been done. People have already been misled and radicalized. These little buzzwords, misled and radicalized. People have not been misled. People have used the necessary tools to discard your story and to look for the necessary evidence to suggest that you are lying. That's what this is. They haven't been misled. They listened to your story. They fact-checked your story, as everyone should, on their own, not using some type of Snopes or PolitiFact fact-checkers. They verified the story on their own, and they figured out that you were lying. They believe the lies to a point where their hatred could someday boil over into violence. Yes, this is coming from the woman who egged on violence all summer long, and then when the Capitol riots happened, she was scared. Cool. This is exactly what led to thousands of enraged rioters storming the Capitol on January 6th. And yes, that is that. So, AOC, in my opinion, I'm giving you a 100% liar star because you pretty much lied. Based on the evidence that I have shared here and based on the stuff that I've read from good sources, by the way, Daily Wire being one of them, you lied. Now, you can say that the Daily Wire is politically biased or whatever like that, which they're not if you actually care to listen. That's up to you. But me, to you, AOC, you shouldn't be doing this. If you were at the riots and you told your story, you should have just left it at that. If people want to kind of break apart your story and kind of point out the holes in the story, that's fine too. But for you to go ahead and react the way you did with this email, that's telling me all I need to know, that this story probably isn't real that you told us. That some of it probably was your reactions and stuff like that, but for you to say that the rioters came looking for you and that they banged on your office door and said, where is she? I don't believe it for 1 second. But what do you think, audience? What do you think? Do you think AOC was telling the truth in her video? Do you think that everything that she said in her video was fact? Could it be disproven, real or not? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Until then, or until next time, I am Will at Heroic Studios. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to be bringing you guys more content, more videos as we go. Also, very special announcement for you guys. I have gotten into 3D printing. So I have started printing all sorts of crazy gadgets. I have a Red Hood helmet here that needs to be sanded and painted. I have some LEDs in the eyes right here. I've made other masks for friends and stuff like that. It's really, really fun. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. And for you who are subscribed to my channel, or for anybody who's interested in 3D printing, I will be putting up tutorials and processes on how I made something like this. and how I made it look cool with the sanding and painting and priming and all that fun stuff. So I'm really excited to be starting something new. So a lot of these channels going to be kind of split between movies, comics, 3D printing, and politics. So it's going to be fun. I hope you guys do stick around. 2020 is going to be a very big year for this channel. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And now we'll be bringing you cool content to make something like this coming very, very soon. All right, guys, enjoy your week. Don't burn anything down. And I will see you next time on Culture Shock. Adios.